Trade recap January 21st. So today was a loss, losing day, but I'm not mad because it's a win mentally because I stuck to my rules. For the first time in like 3 trading days, I actually stuck to my rules. National Squirrel Appreciation Day, so go bark at a squirrel or whatever you do to them. Took 2 positions today, and the market was extremely hard to read today. And I'll show you exactly why here in a minute. But let's start out on the higher time frames. I was thinking shorts because we're in a downtrend and we're at this higher high or lower high area. And we look like, or we seem like, we felt like, we did like, no, we didn't like, but whatever, like that we were going to come down and shoot down. And on the 1 minute, my bias would have been shorts. Yes, I want to short the market today, but we were dumping, but I never got a short entry. However, there was some crazy S&T divergence between ES and NQ. And the reason, if you don't already know why S&T divergence is so important, is because NQ is the technology index, and NQ is a part of ES. ES is the index as a whole, while NQ is a part of said index, meaning ES is the leading index while NQ is the lagging index. And so I thought this was ES for a second. I was did I trade on it? No. That means whatever ES does, if ES is higher than NQ, NQ is likely to move higher. If ES is lower than NQ, NQ is likely to move lower. And we saw major S&T divergence today where ES was trading so much higher than NQ. Like this here to here, 702-ish to 940, these are the same lows. While ES is trading so much higher than NQ, which made me think bullish. And so, based on my little strategy here, I wait for S&T and preferably happening next to or around a liquidity sweep. So we had liquidity here, sell side liquidity. We took that liquidity. The first trade I entered, we were taking lows left and right over here. So that was good enough for me to want to enter. And I entered realistically, I would want to enter on a break of structure, which we did get on this setup in the future or after it played out. But I entered before a break of structure here because I usually put my stop loss below the fair value gap or inverse fair value gap that I'm betting a rejection off of. And if I waited for a break of structure on this trade, I would have had to have like a 30-point stop loss. And that's way too big for me personally for a single trade. And so I entered before it, which is risky, but all my other confluences were in line with the trade. So I decided there's no trading without risk. And I keep moving that like an idiot. And I was thinking of targeting here. I was never really planning on taking my profits there. But I entered off of the breakthrough of this inverse fair value gap, and I was never planning on really taking my profits here, but I just wanted a sign to know where I should put my TP. And I got that sign here. We made this high, and I just moved my TP there. And we never took out that high. So, around here though, when we started coming back down, I moved my stop loss to break even to minimize risk on this trade. And in the grand scheme of things, I probably should have just targeted the low of this inverse fair value gap here, which would have hit perfectly fine. But I didn't. Hindsight is 2020. There's no real way I could have known. I'm definitely going to do a lot of back testing today to see if that is something that I should be doing. Because I think it is based on the back testing that I have done previously. So it might be something that I do implement within my strategy, and I keep moving this. But yeah, so this candle right here, if you were trading today, you know this 953 candle just totally plummeted. Like this here to here was like 30 seconds, bro. It just whoop went right on down. And if that's something happened, somebody died. Something happened. But my long would have probably hit if it weren't for whoever died. But RIP, I guess. It's making me lose my fucking trade. But yeah, I took a second position off of here. Again, not waiting for a breakup structure, which realistically, I should have. I didn't. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, whatever. And it hit my stop loss pretty instantly. But I took this position because we had the sweep, sell side liquidity. We had more S&T here. It was the S&T was more slight, I will say, between these lows, but it is still there. And we still have this crazy S&T, which I'm still very surprised that we didn't shoot up right here and that we're still consolidating around this zone. But I decided to take the same trade, target the same area, got stopped out right away. And I was thinking, after that, what if I just entered another one, emotionally traded? But no, I got to stick to my rules, which are I can only take 2 trades a day. A third trade can only be taken if I hit break even on 2 trades. And even then, it needs to be an A+++ setup, because if I get hit break even twice, it may just mean the market's not going my way. And if I take 2 losses, I'm done. When I take the first trade and it's a win, I can take 1 more trade as long as it's an A+ setup. And I'll go over an A+ setup here in a minute. And if I take the first trade as a loss, I can only take a second trade if it's an A+ setup, of course. For me, an A+ setup, I might actually be able to find one if I look left enough. Let's see if this day. So, an A+ setup. Here, yeah, this is an A+. This is an A+ long setup on January 25th. January 25th. It's 25. January 16th. So we had SMT here. I don't feel like pulling up ES, so you're just gonna have to actually. You know what? No, this is educational. On the 16th, on January, from 10:37 to 10:48. From 10:37 to 10:48. From 10:37 to 10:48. Bro, I'm a bit slow. Am I crazy? There's like no divergence here. Is it just me, or is there literally no divergence here? What am I talking about marking out divergence here? Now I look like an idiot, dude. Come on. Previous day. Come on, man. There's no divergence there. Yeah, I can take the first trade. Doesn't have to be an A+ setup. But here, even okay. Well, technically, A+ setup. Voice crack setup here. An A+ setup would be. So this is January 14th. So we see. I actually remember this. I back tested this. I remember this. We saw a SMT divergence between 850 and 942. The 942 high. So yes, there is actually divergence here. Thank God. 942 is right here. So we had SMT divergence. And we saw, so this first trade would have been the stop out break even, was taken off of this sweep of sell side liquidity, rejection off of this order block. Here, not an A+ setup, but the first trade doesn't always have to be an A+ setup, but the second trade has to be an A+ setup. And we had S&T. We had a sweep of this high. And we had this inverse fair value gap right here. That gave me a little bit more confluence. And then we had a break of structure here, in which I probably, would have entered like here or whatever, because I don't always wait for the break of structure. I probably should, but that just means my stop loss has to be huge. But no. Well, an A plus setup realistically would have waited for the break of structure, entered off of the break of structure, stop above this inverse for value gap, targeting. Well, here, bro, what would I even target, dog? What would I even target, dog? I guess the low of this, which wouldn't have even hit. Like, come on. I probably would have. We came down to this low. You rejected. I probably would have targeted this low. Would have been a great trade. Most likely would have entered before and, targeted this for a smaller, but it is what it is. So that's more or less an A plus setup for me, in my opinion. Or this one. Technically, it still didn't. Break of structures are hard, man. I don't want to wait for a break of structure. You see, we see, you see, we see, everybody sees. SMT, break of structure, right here. Could have entered on this break of structure, right here. But we also came up and rejected out of this zone again. Could have targeted here. I need to do more back testing to see what seems to work the most. Waiting for a break of structure, waiting for rejection out of his zone again, or another. But we had SMT, we had an order block, yada yada yada. Setups and stuff. It's my trade recap for the day. I don't know if I mentioned it's National Appreciated School Day. I think I did. See, it's been so long since I started this video. Hope you won today. Not, you suck. This probably isn't for you. I'm just kidding. Today sucked. If you didn't win today, I don't know. I know someone who won today. I don't like 500. Oh, bro. I was playing the week. Got like 40. Beats me. I already did that, but I'm not him. Apparently, I'm not him. That's my trade recap. Have a great night.